At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
We would love to get him back, especially Arkansas. Not really in Florida, but Arkansas. We'd love to get him back. We see him on the side, and they win, we win. That's one for sure. We would want to play.
Right.
We would just feel like we was disrespected. They feel like, they got to win. They feel like they're better than us right now. But, we play against them, the intensity is going to be high. We feel like we're going to beat the crap out of them when we see them again.
And just like that, my video is now demonetized. I will be, this video will be no money in my pocket, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that little thing. I spent a little bit of time putting that together for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please consider joining Patreon if you guys, if you're not already there. There's also a tip jar, PayPal link down below. Again, this video will be demonetized by YouTube for me putting 21 pilots in that video. Here we go. So much to discuss. Are you ready? I know I am. 3, 2, 1. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Uh-huh. Yeah. It is game day, SEC tournament. Special occasion. Lighten up the stogie. Lighten up the cigar. Glasses, they are on. Haircut, not exactly groomed too well, but I got the haircut. I've had a busy week. Hope you guys have had a great week. John Haas, oh, look at him with the super chat. Yeah, there's super chat too, by the way. YouTube can eat Will Wade. All right, thank you. Appreciate that, John. I love it. Thank you, man. Dude got the hair did. Sure did. Got the hair did. It's a little shorter than I realized. When I pointed it out in the book, it's a little shorter. I was like, I want that one. I didn't expect this much. But you know what? I love it. I loved it anyways. Let's go, baby. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Like the video. Please like the stream. Share the content. Sharing is caring. You guys know that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure if you do share this, and of course John Haas, who does this every time, he shares on Twitter and he tags me. I appreciate that, Haas. Please, if you do share, which is huge for the channel when you do that, make sure you tag me. What do you guys think? Should I just put the beanie back on or just keep it? Like, because I tried to groom it and then I threw my Celtics are killing it right now. So I'm like, I got to celebrate my C's. So I got the Celtics. You see that? Yeah. Got a couple Celtics shirts. The other one my wife wants me to throw away because it's like 5 years old and it's got all kinds of holes in it. All right. This is an absolutely packed show. I hope you guys are, I don't know. I don't think we'll go over. I don't know that I can go over. I was a couple minutes late today because trying to get my kids settled in. They're both at home. We're doing homeschooling. It's snowing like crazy. So my day is just crazy anyways. We will do a post-game show, by the way, after the LSU game, win or lose. Nah, the beanies... No beanie, the Rams season is over. I don't care, Tyler. I'm going to celebrate my Rams 24/7. I got Rams slippers. I don't have any Rams shirts anymore that fit me because I've gotten too fat. But I've got the Ram beanie, Ram bumper stickers. You see my little Kia Soul in town. It's got Rams. Look, man, I celebrate 24/7 with my Rams, even when they were bad, even when they were awful. In the mid-'90s when they moved to St. Louis. What's your Twitter tag? Oh, well, it's there. It's I know that watermark is, I don't know why. I need to just take the watermark off, but it's there. It's at Pig Trail Network. Just search Pig Trail Network. You'll find me. You'll find it. Or you can tag at Ty Hudson PTN. All right. Loaded show. Absolutely loaded show. We'll start off. Oh, I need to read chat really quick. I know you guys. You want me to read your chatties. I'll do that. I'm gonna have to go to work in a bit, but hopefully I'll be home by game time. Yeah, you don't want to miss this one. No work today and a full slate of SEC tournament basketball. Garrett, it's gonna be wild today. I'm excited. Those games yesterday. The amount of sports that I took in yesterday might be the most I've ever taken in a single day. 2 baseball games, 2 Razorback games. I watched 70%, maybe 60, 70% of both of those. All the SEC tournament games. At one point, I just had the TV on with the games on the tournament, and I had Arkansas baseball up. By the way, the Bats kind of woke up in game 1, and then they came on late in game 2. Although they didn't exactly light the world on fire at the plate. This never gets old. I love that song. It's an older song, 21 Pilots, but I love that song. It's just so good. And like I said, it'll demonetize the video. I'm not going to make a dime off this video. Nice haircut. Appreciate that. There go that boy. That's right, Broadway. That's right. There's your boy. Keep the beating off. What, you guys don't support the Rams? What's wrong with you? You're not happy that Stafford finally got his trophy and my boy AD, the greatest defensive tackle of all time, he got his trophy? So let's get started. I mean, I know that's debatable. I definitely know that's debatable. But to me, of course. Starting off really quick, I don't know if you guys caught this. Sports Illustrated released their top 50 players. Might be surprised. This is in all of college basketball. Keep in mind how many of these kids make this list. And coming in right at the tail end of this thing is Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams at number 50. He is this is an interesting write-up here. Williams has been uniquely valuable cog for Arkansas and one of the more underrated bigs in college basketball. He's an efficient scorer, smart passer, and screener. A+ defensive rebounder, and has given the Razorbacks a consistent paint presence. He's the type of player you need to watch closely to fully grasp his value. I agree with that. That's actually a really good assessment. But Arkansas figures to be a dangerous team in March, in no small part due to the problems he creates for defenses, presuming he returns next year to a team bringing in a star freshman, Nick Smith and Jordan Walsh. Things could get spicy. That's from Jeremy Wu on Sports Illustrated. And then our guy, JD Note, where did he fall to? I just have the article up, and there's 50 names you got to go through here. Hang on. I thought he was in the top 20. No, 22nd. JD Note comes in at 22. I think that's fair. I obviously I don't watch all of college basketball, so it's hard for me to say, but I think it's fair. Top 25 total, top 50 player in the country. I mean, again, think about that. Much has been made this season about the dearth of elite guards in college hoops. Well, that's just basketball now. But Note qualifies for that short list. The Razorback star is one of the best in the nation at creating his own shot off the bounce, as evidenced by the 30 points he poured against Kentucky, and he scored 28 against Auburn back in February. It's no coincidence that Arkansas found its rhythm after a disastrous stretch in December and early January once it decided to just put the ball in Note's hands and let him work. I mean, I would argue his shot selection cleaned up so much, and he's gotten better at making contested shots. And he's gotten better at some of those low percentage shots, like not dramatically better, but better. He's making wide open threes more than he did. We're still seeing him brick quite a bit. But you don't have a problem with this guy pulling it back and firing away. That's what he does. You guys ask me, who do I want the ball in the hands in the final seconds? If you don't have time to run a set play, you've got 2 seconds to let that thing rip. Give it to JD Note. Look what this guy has done. And he has last-second shots under his belt, by the way. Give it to JD Note. This guy's one of the best in the country, and there's a reason for that. But so you have 2 Razorbacks that make this top 50 list. Again, this is according to SportsIllustrated.com. They're not as relevant as they once were 15, 20 years ago, but that's still pretty cool to see them give him mad props. I love SI. I think has always been one of the better college basketball. They've covered college basketball as good as anybody over the years. So, take that for what it's worth. Maryland basketball. Okay, you guys remember we talked about an article they'd written up. When was that? Was that like 3 weeks ago? Maryland wrote an article. I think it was from their 247 guys. One of the 247 guys over there that Musselman was a realistic possibility for them. I mean, if you read that article, it was like, what's he doing in Arkansas? I mean, come on. And then I saw the screenshots a buddy of mine sent me from their board. I mean, these people, typical that part of the country, just look down on us Arkansans. What's going on down there? Says someone who has never come within 200 miles of the state of Arkansas, or at least Northwest Arkansas for that matter. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. We are Arkansas. We are a better basketball program than you realize, and they're going to keep – it is damn hard to take something from Arkansas that they really want. And Hunter Yurchek, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Musselman, I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon, although I am a firm believer in never say never. But I feel pretty confident that he's going to remain at Arkansas. He's paid well. Northwest Arkansas is gorgeous. Fayetteville's gorgeous. His family, and you always hear this. Oh, we love it in Arkansas. We love it down there or over there down the road. We love it in Arkansas. You always hear that, right? But I really think this guy likes living here. Really enjoys living here. I do get nervous when you hear about these West Coast teams, however. Some of the West Coast teams do make me a little nervous. But, they're going to have to still pay up quite a bit of money to get Eric Musselman out of Fayetteville. He's not going to Maryland. I've never bought into this. So apparently they are Maryland basketball coaching search. This is a little bit of an update. Sounds less and less likely they're going to be signing Eric Musselman. I know you're shocked. The writers over there were mighty confident he was a strong possibility. It sounds like now they could be hiring Mike Bray of Notre Dame fame. So, yeah, there you go, Mike Bray. Have fun with that. We're gonna. I think we're good down here. Us little old Arkansans down here. Oh no, I think we're gonna be all right. Moving on, Trey Flowers. I don't know if you guys caught this or not. Let go by the Detroit Lions. The move's going to save them $10 million. I'm not going to lie. After he signed that big deal, it's not uncommon to see a player, especially in the NFL, get a big contract, and then all of a sudden they don't live up to that contract, to what you think their value is. It's not uncommon. Always makes me nervous when the Rams do it, and they have done it, especially under Fisher, offered some ridiculous extension to a player that has no business even being on the roster. Don't get me started. Lions, not that he's not worth it to the Lions. I mean, but he coming in, after what he did with New England and what he was able to do there, I don't know where he ends up. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are some Rams boards I've been on that are like, yeah, we want him. We want him next to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, who we're waiting on to, I don't know that he ever actually signed his deal. It's supposed to come up any day now, I think, unless I missed it. There's been so much college stuff going on. I've not paid attention at all to the NFL. But, I mean, it's definitely something that could be on the table for him. He stays in the NFC and he moves out west to the Rams, although it never works out that way. He'll probably go somewhere you're not even thinking of, right? But Trey Flowers out at Detroit. Yeah. Again, not too surprising, all things considered. What I love about JD is he can airball, then hit a 28-footer. Yeah, he can. You're not wrong about that. Jacob Petum, A&M is giving Auburn a run for their money. Yeah, and I realize too, I'm doing this. The stream is what it is, and I'm also under the gun for the kids and their live streams and their homework. So my goal is to keep this thing under an hour, but there's so much to discuss. I think we could do it. What do you guys think? You think we can keep it under an hour? I bet we can. And then we've got the tournament going on. So I realize this is going to be a show that might not even – look, not a lot of eyeballs in here today. That's fine. I'm just glad those of you who are here, you're here, and we can – you know what? We can just chat. Don't forget to hit the like button. I mean, we're coming up on 50 folks, and we don't even have 20 likes. Come on, we're better than that. We can do better than that. Slap the like button. How about probably the news that, I mean, we all heard, but no one really went beyond unless you're, you pay attention to some of these written articles, but no one really blew up. Like, social media didn't blow up over this as much as I thought it would. Kendall Briles and Barry Odom are extended through 2024. Both received a decent raise, probably not as much as some people thought. I've got all their salaries right here in front of me. I'm looking at all of them. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on the accuracy here, all right? I think these are pretty accurate, so I'll just go down the entire list. Barry Odom goes from 1.75 in 2021 to 1.85 in 2022. Kendall Briles goes from $1 million to $1.2 million. I mean, coordinators making $1 million anyways is kind of, I mean, that's not super common, and you've got two. In fact, one of them is almost making $2 million, which not that long ago was the standard salary for like a non-P5 coach. Scott Fountain. Oh, Scott Fountain, who I was a big critic of his first, 15 games, and I think rightfully so. Look, I'm not saying that he didn't deserve the criticism, because he absolutely did. Special teams it was bad. Penalties on fourth down, guys not being out there on the field, no one knowing what their roles were, like guys looking around like we're missing people. You'd see players turn around like, what the hell is going on? And then he figured it out this year. His whole special teams was honestly a bright spot. You look back on what he did, it was a bright spot. You can honestly say, yeah, all right, no, Fountain. You see now why he was at Georgia. You see now why he's considered one of the best special teams coaches in the country. We finally got to see that. about halfway through this season. I hope he continues to do that. I've always thought punt coverage was really solid. Kick coverage is really solid. Again, he wasn't all bad even during the dark times of the first year and so, the first however many games. You count the 10 games from last year, and then I'd say 4 or 5 games into this season, we finally started to see what they're capable of. Punt return turned into a threat. Punt return was actually pretty decent. And then you have to give Fountain credit. So he goes from $450,000 to $550,000. He's making over $500,000 to be the special teams coach this year. Dow Loggins, he got a pretty good bump. $100,000 is what his bump is. He goes from $300K to $400K. Cody Kennedy does not get a bump. He did not get a bump in 2022. I thought that was interesting considering this offensive line was kind of ridiculous this year. And don't forget, I mean, this was a move this year at offensive line where it's not like he had the entire offseason to prepare, and he comes in, and I thought the O-line was the best we've seen in a few years. So, and he didn't get a raise. Now, I want to tell you guys, you're still not safe with your entire coaching staff. We've seen coaches leave well after spring camp. I'm talking about assistants. I don't know about coordinators. I can't think of any coordinator off the top of my head that left. I'm probably missing someone obvious, but it is what it is. Defensive line, of course, Deke Adams, he's going to go from $300K to $400K. He was at $300K at FAU a year ago, so he gets a $100,000 raise here. Well, that's quite the bump, isn't it? Jimmy Smith goes from $300 to $360. Dominic Bowen, who's at Marshall, I did not know they paid him $350K. I did not know that. That seems like a lot of money for a DB coach at Marshall to do what he was doing at Marshall. That's pretty incredible. And he doesn't, obviously he's not getting a raise. And then Kenny Guyton, who in last year he made $300, he's going to make $40,000 more, so he's at $340. This is probably, I don't know if it's a shock or not. Michael Schur, linebacker coach, goes from $175 to more than $250,000. He goes up to $325,000. $175 to $325,000. So, I mean, is he worth it? I think so, but I that position you'd think, yeah, he might go up to $220. No, man, $325,000. $325,000. How about that, man? Good for him. I'm all for it. There are some folks that believe if you keep Barry Odom maybe another year after this season, another year that maybe Schur could be the next guy to be the defensive coordinator. I have seen that spread around here and there. I don't know that I buy into that. Michael Schur is awfully young, but I mean, he's done a fine job with the linebackers. And some of that is you have to give credit to Barry Odom's system, but you got to have linebackers that are capable of doing just that. And he walked into a great situation. I think it was one of the best linebacker groups in the SEC. And I don't think that's crazy to say. Grant Morgan, who's a Brandon Burlsworth Award recipient, Bumper Pool, who's an all-conference player, Henry this year, what a stud. What an absolute stud. So he walked into a great situation. But, again, he still had a role to play, and Sam Pittman will tell you what he thinks of Michael Schur. He thinks pretty highly of him. So, yeah. Ramon Shiesty, if Jimmy Dykes is commenting on our game, I'll rip my hair out. So Razorback baseball, they get a pair of wins yesterday in their doubleheader. They won game 1, 12-4. How about Connor Noland? Connor Noland was one of his best games of the year, and I'm pretty sure this is his best game of the season. He has one other 10 strikeout game. He had 11 Ks yesterday. Good for him. He would end up giving up 4 hits and 3 runs, but that was, of course he'd be pulled later on. But he ended up with almost 100 pitches, 97 pitches. Again, Arkansas, pretty good at the plate, man. 13 hits and just 9 9 strikeouts, which, you're not a big fan of that. You're not a big fan of 9 strikeouts, but you got 13 hits. Those guys were clearly swinging away. Game 2, the Hogs won 5-4, 6 hits, and only 3 strikeouts at the plate in Game 2. Austin Ledbetter got the start. He had 3 Ks, but he only pitched 3 innings at 44 total pitches. Arkansas is supposed to – I don't know. I'm so confused by what they're doing this weekend. I think they're going to try and resume tomorrow. Maybe if someone knows in chat or someone who's watching this after the fact, maybe you can help us out. I don't know what the case is there. Again, I've been 90% tuned into what's going on with the Razorbacks and with basketball and some of this SEC tournament. Okay, here's the meat. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this live stream. Look at that. We're half an hour in. For people who complain about how the show starts off, this is why. This is why we got to give some cushion, because you go through these too much or too quickly, and all of a sudden you're looking at half an hour and you're already like you're doing good. We still have of course we still have more. We've got quite a bit to talk about with Arkansas and LSU and going in on what Sam Pittman said. So, as a matter of fact, let's do this. I did not show you guys this at the beginning because I wanted to give you the that pretty sweet intro that's going to get my live stream hit with a copyright hit, but it shouldn't be a strike, but they'll just demonetize it. I hope they don't strike it. That'll be my first copyright strike if it is. Why didn't anybody tell me my light was right there? Why didn't get out of the shot? You're so selfish, studio lighting. Get out of the shot, bro. Don't make me go all Tom Cruise on your ass. Let's do this. All right, there's a good shot of the Patreon peeps. Now, let's listen to a little bit of what Sam Pittman had to say, and then we'll get back to – it also gives me a real quick chance to go check on my kids. But here you go. Here's Sam Pittman talking. It's not super long. I think it's under, I want to say 2 minutes, around there. So here you go. And by the way, shout out to Patreon supporters. We added someone, too. He'll be on the list next month. Can't wait for that. He has access to our stuff on Discord, our Patreon stuff. Here we go.
I don't look for KJ to be limited at all, nor Catalan, for that matter. Those two guys, no, I don't think so. Now we've got a few guys that will be, but those two certainly not. I think Landon Jackson will be a limit. He'll be limited coming off an injury. But I think that we've got some guys that had some off-season surgery, Dominic Johnson and things like that, but that won't be able to participate yet. I think he'd do something maybe in the late summer. Well, no matter what people say about you, you still have to. Not everybody's going to say good about you, so you still have that chip to prove somebody wrong. And if nobody's talking bad about us, we'll just make it up and we'll go down there, because the bottom line is that's who we are. And we are a chip on the shoulder underdog from the head coach all the way down to the last player on the team. And we like it that way. And that's who we are. And so I don't know about that. I don't know who put the 6th in the country. Come on. But we're certainly going to strive to get that way. We have extreme confidence in our football team. We have a lot of kids coming back, got a quarterback back, our safety back who we played over half a year without. So we should have a good football team. I find it hard to think that, as the season went on last year, that teams that played us were overlooking us. We'd beaten some pretty good teams and gotten in the top 10 in the country. So I'm pretty sure they figured out we had, a decent football team. So we'll see what happens. But I can promise you our team isn't going around patting themselves on the back. We got something to prove. Last year was last year. We got something to prove. We still have the people of Arkansas to make them proud of us. That's our number one goal, to make the people of the state of Arkansas proud of us. And, we know if we do that, then we're playing hard and we're winning games.
All right. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You want to say woo pig, Suey? You want to say woo pig?
Yeah.
Well, they can't see you. The microphone's in the way. Say woo pig, Suey.
Woo pig zooey.
All right. All right, you little tyke. Go do your homework. You want to say hi too? Yeah. Are you jealous because your sister? Well, come here. But you gotta say woo. You know the rules. You gotta say woo pig if you're gonna be on camera.
Is this YouTube?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
YouTube.
I thought you were on Discord.
No, this is not Discord.
Oh.
Say woo pig.
Woo pig zooey.
All right. Do you have homework? Get your homework done. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah, I got some great help. They're trying to tell me they don't have homework left. Right. All right. Sam Pittman with quite a bit to say there. There's a lot. That live, when he talked that live, right. His discussion with the media yesterday was pretty good. Some things that stood out to me, some stuff that stood out to me that yesterday. We're going to go over it because I thought, honestly, this was a pretty loaded, and it should have been, right, because we haven't heard from him for a little bit. So here's what he had to say about the portal. I have completely given up trying to keep up with what the hell, how many scholarships you have in the portal. I thought it was 2. Someone else, another friend of mine who probably keeps up with recruiting more than me, thought it was 1. Sam Pittman told everyone yesterday he's got 3 spots open for the portal. So I'm guessing some of these guys can count forward or backwards. I'm not really sure. He says you've got 3, you've got 3. We'll just stick with that. We know the portal, they've kind of killed it. They've done a good job. And what's crazy is, and we had this discussion in Discord live chat the other day, every single player in that portal, the guys that are going to count towards your scholarship, I'm not talking about the quarterback, every one of them are day one guys. They're capable. I'm saying they're capable. They're not going to be. I don't know. Maybe they will. We'll have to see about Jackson. Of course, Sam Pittman talked about him not being 100% healthy and might be held out a little bit or limited in spring camp. They haven't seen much of him, so that's, we'll see where he's at in fall camp. We got a long ways to go. He could participate in spring camp. Hell, I don't know, but very limited. But your portal guys, every one of them are capable of being day one starters. Every single one of them. And so this is what he said about the portal. Yeah, I know exactly how I'd like to use them, Pittman said. I'd like to sign a couple defensive linemen and a wide receiver. Now, I had a discussion with a media member whom you've seen. He's on television. He's on YouTube. He and I talk from time to time. We had this discussion. What if, when you look at the left tackle spot, what's going on there? And I'll get to why I'm a little curious about that here in just a second. He says, we'll see what happens. Somebody pops up in the portal where we just go, hey, we can't pass him up. Then we'll do that as well. But the plan is 2 defensive linemen and a wideout. That is their plan. So they have 3 spots open. I'm going to take him at his word. And again, there's a couple positions. I thought with 3 spots open, okay, well, they're for sure going to take a defensive lineman. We all knew that. They're trying to stack up. My belief is, and I'm feeling pretty more and more confident about this, especially when you look at how they've recruited and how they've attacked the portal, they want to move to that 4-2-6. I think that is abundantly clear. They want to move to the 4-2-6. They want to finally implement basically the nickel version of that defense, the nickel defense. 2 corners, 2 safeties, a nickel corner, a nickel, slot guy there, and then 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. Your Sam and Will. And it's clear. It's clear. Again, when you look at how they've recruited, they signed 3 linebackers in this class. They took a linebacker in the portal. They've absolutely attacked those positions. So I feel like, and I don't think that's exactly shocking news. Of course they want to go to the 4-2-6. That's kind of what we thought they would do a year ago. But you found out, oh, wait, that defensive line has some issues. They're not there yet. They don't have the depth. Trey Williams was really your only, for a while, up until the second half of the season, and that may have been due to injuries and stuff. Trey Williams was about your only semi-consistent pass rusher, and they weren't super aggressive going after the quarterback. I think they want to change that up this year, and it's a great move in a wonderful direction on defense for Arkansas. I like the 4-2-6. I see why the way they use the safeties, the way they implement, it's basically like an umbrella in your secondary, and you've got another guy there that can line up and kind of assist you in the box a little bit, help you out in the flats, talking about the nickel position. I think it's a pretty sound defense. For a while, everyone, Alabama, a whole bunch of teams in the SEC, the upper echelon SEC teams, the NFL were implementing more of the 3-4 defense. But I think now you're starting to see more and more teams, they're either going with a 3 front with 3 linebackers, or they're going with something similar like what we saw last year from the Hogs, where your linebackers consume a whole bunch of tackles and your defensive linemen, their sole job really is to soak up blocks. And if they can, you get a guy that can stand up and blitz a quarterback like Trey Williams. But I'm excited to see where they go defensively, and it's going to be really fascinating. That is something you have to circle. I'm supposed to do Mark Rogers next week. We're going to touch on defense. We're going to talk about what they're going to look like, and I hope to do more of that here as things unfold. But defensively, again, this is going to be the thing that you circle. It's going to be the thing you highlight. How do they line up, and who's lining up where? You're going to see some more position changes. Who's going to play that nickel spot? Where do they line Slusher up? How do the safeties look? Who lines up at cornerback 1 and 2? Where's Hudson Clark? Where's Bishop? Where's Brini and McGlovern? Where are these guys going to be lined up at? Fascinating. Defense is going to look – I think the defense next year is going to look completely different. Yeah, you're still going to have bumper pull, and you're still going to have some other names that we know, and they're going to be in rotation, but I think it's going to look – by design, it's going to look differently in the form of technique. Their front 6, front 7, how that's going to look, how they line up. That's something you need to keep highlighted. He also talked about Drew Sanders. And I love what he said here. Drew Sanders at Mike or Will. So, everybody from Clay Henry, who most of you know who that is, to anyone who talks sports had made the comment, and this is what I had heard, and not only that, people I talked to, that they felt like Drew Sanders may end up being the stand-up, kind of like what Trey Williams was to the defense a year ago, only you're going to have a 4 front as opposed to a 3 front, giving Drew Sanders more room to operate as a pass rusher. Sam Pittman says Drew Sanders at Mike or Will at linebacker is going to be a really good player for us from what we've seen athletically. And then he talked about Landon Jackson. We haven't seen quite as much from him, certainly just because of the injury. Dwight McGlothern, he's done well. He'll play corner for us. Brini is going to be a combination player for us. Remember, like I said, who plays that nickel spot? It could be Brini. Brini's pretty athletic. Maybe a weak side safety or nickel. I think at his recruiting he wanted to play both. Certainly we'll look at him at both positions. Jaden Hazelwood has done well. He's healthy and moving well. I believe that's the last one of the 5. Someone asked him, I think it was Trey Biddy, maybe it was Otis, I'm not sure. Someone asked him, does Sanders look like a day 1 starter? Pittman replied, if you watch the video, he says he looks like it. Yeah, he can run. He's big. He hasn't hit anybody yet, but he did at his other school. He looks good. I am so excited. The caliber of talent that Sanders is not something Arkansas gets at linebacker on defense. The caliber of talent that guy is. If he fully buys in, which I'm sure why wouldn't he? He knows what he's coming into here. He's played against Arkansas. He knows about Sam. He knows about Barry Odom. Why wouldn't he be bought in? If he absorbs everything that Barry Odom wants him to do, and I'm sure he's coachable, his ceiling is really high. I'm not saying he's a first-round pick. I don't know yet. I've watched a little bit of film on him. Obviously, you can go back and watch some Alabama film and watch some high school film on him. He's quick. He moves well with that frame and could be a huge part of this defense next year, and I think obviously that's the goal. Him and Bumper Pull on the field at the same time just doesn't seem fair. So, in addition to transfers, Arkansas enrolled 18 freshmen at midterm. Some of them jumped out to Sam Pittman, and of course he talked a little bit about that. Amarian Harris, Andrew Chambly. He said that Cody Kennedy hit the jackpot with that group. I really like them. Arkansas has signed 26 players now from 2022. Some other news, Trey Knox, a year ago, this cat was at 215 pounds. They move him to tight end. He starts working on the weight gain. During the season, I might add, trying to learn a new position. He's now up to over 200. He's right at 240 pounds. I mean, think about that. This time a year ago, 215, he's working with wideouts. Now he's 240 pounds. He's playing tight end. That is a big change. That's a big change. And we saw a little bit of it. I like him in the passing game. We'll have to see if he absorbs the rest, if he can become a legitimate, a kick-out blocker. If he can do all of that and then some. I mean, listen, if he takes to the tight end role entirely for what it is, blocking and everything, and obviously we know he's going to be a solid catcher. He does have some drops. I know. Someone's always got to remind me of that. I know that. But it's going to be a little bit different coming out of the tight end spot, and he's going to be more of a check down guy, but he's also capable. Think about his route tree. I mean, his route tree is going to be a lot more wide open than most tight ends because of his experience playing wide out all the way through high school and his first couple of years in college. He just adds something to the passing game. He could be special. Again, if he's completely bought in, which I think he is. Remember, he asked to play tight end. He asked for that move. They obliged. They're kind of desperate there. Let's not act like they're not. Thankfully, Blake Kern was a solid blocker for them last year, and Knox had some moments. I saw him blocking a little bit, but now it could be mostly on him. We'll see with these other tight ends. Of course, you've got the other Henry brother there, who's not really lived up to the stars and all that. But if he stays healthy, I think that could change. And of course, you're going to have Aaron Outley, and we know they moved Rodgers from tight end to wide receiver. I don't know if they end up moving him back. We'll see. So also, Sam Pittman on the offensive line. This is what I was talking about with the left tackle spot and why myself and this other media member thought that maybe they go to the portal for left tackle. They're not going to, but here's one of the reasons for that thought. And I told you guys in Discord. I told everyone in the Patreon group. I said this 2-3 days ago. Look for Luke Jones to play left tackle. That is exactly what they're doing with him. Coach Pittman commented on the left tackle position, stating that Luke Jones could see some time over there during spring camp. Jones has been in the mix at multiple positions on the offensive line, but now it looks like he could be, I don't know if he's going to be the one guy there through spring camp. He could be the two. We'll see. You've also got Jalen St. John, who can move over there to left tackle, who's got a little bit of athleticism for his size. Luke Jones, we know, is agile. He does remind you a little bit. What Ty Clary was to the right side of the offensive line is what Luke Jones is to the left side. Although I think Luke Jones' ceiling is a little bit higher than Ty Clary's. That's probably, to me, when I heard this news earlier in the week that Luke Jones could be repping at left tackle, I was a little surprised by that. But not really. I knew part of his scouting when he went to Notre Dame and everything was he was an agile offensive lineman, athletic enough to play multiple spots. But at the same time, you kind of thought, well, what about Jalen St. John? What about Devin Manuel, who's lost weight, by the way? What about some of these other guys? Nope. It sounds like Luke Jones could end up fighting for that one spot over there. So that was our initial thinking. Like maybe they're gonna go into the portal and go grab themselves a left tackle. And maybe they do if someone stands out, like Sam Pittman said. If there's another guy that stands out, yeah, we'll probably roll the dice. But again, they're looking at defensive lineman and wide receiver. Does that surprise anybody about the wide receiver? Does that give you pause? Because you added a whole bunch. You've still got guys that transferred in a year ago. You still got you've got the 4-star Katron Jackson out of Texas, who he bragged on, by the way. You've got Hazelwood. Does that give anyone a little bit of pause that they're still looking for a wide receiver? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that I am. Also, another little bit of a surprise on the offensive line. Marcus Henderson has actually moved to center, and you could also see Luke Jones there. Remember what we were talking about. Agile. Guy could play multiple positions. He could also see center, and Bo Limmer could also see some time there as well. All right. I'm getting tagged on Discord. What's going on? Don't tell me my stream's down or something. Watching this YouTube feed here is better than watching it on regular YouTube site. I'll take this on the work computer all day. Thanks, Ty. Oh, well, that's cool. Good. I'm glad that worked out for you. Sometimes when I get tagged on Discord, I'm like, oh no, it went down. Oh crap. I'm sitting here talking to myself. I'm gonna have to go back all over this stuff. Keeping this thing moving. Oh, hang on, I know you guys have something to say about some of that. I'm late. Ty got a haircut. I sure did. Be sure you guys like the stream, share the content. If you guys want to become Patreon supporters, please consider doing so. Again, this video it's demonetized. I'm not gonna get a dime from this show. So if you guys want to, join the Patreon, here's the link for you. Get it over there. There you go. There's the Patreon. If you guys want to join, go hit that link right there. Go tap the link if you want to join the Patreon. So again, the surprising thoughts there for me are Ty Clary, of course. Luke Jones playing possibly center, maybe getting some time at left tackle. They're still looking for a wide receiver, which again just is it gives me a little bit of pause. Like, wait a minute, what? I mean, I know they haven't really had access to the players. I mean, is this just something that they're just trying to make somebody happy? Maybe the wide receiver coach wants a little more love. Maybe Kenny Guyton wants another wideout just for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there that has interest. A little bit surprised by that. And, of course, Marcus Henderson moving to center, but that's not too surprising. I mean, he played a little bit of guard, and I think he actually, played both sides. All right, Arkansas and LSU. Here we go. Look at that. We've got 10 minutes. We've gone over this twice already. Arkansas is, I think, a more talented team, but I think LSU has plenty of talent. They can go toe-to-toe with absolutely anybody in this conference. They are 100% capable, all caps there, of winning the SEC tournament because they have the talent. Say what you want about Will Wade. And I know someone's going to say, well, all that bought and paid for talent, and he couldn't even win he didn't do that much damage during the regular season. Granted, they've also dealt with some injuries. Xavier Pinson, who's been a little banged up. They've had a couple other guys that have been dealing with some stuff. That's never easy. Arkansas can attest to that. I mean, Tony didn't play, and you still should have beaten Tennessee without a doubt, and I think you do beat. I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference that Tony makes for this Arkansas team is if he played, you beat Tennessee. I think it's that simple. I really do. A lot of ifs, ands, or buts. A lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. I get that, and I know people don't like that. But I think if he played, you win. I really do. His effort, you heard Musselman talk about what was going on in the first half and their inability to defend the three ball, and he's right. I mean, of course he is. Tony can guard. I think he's probably your best 1 through 4 defender 1 through 4 defender on the floor. Now, he's no Justin Smith. Smith can defend 1 through 5. He can defend anybody. In fact, if Tony played today, he's probably going to get matched up on Pinson. He's either going to be matched up on Pinson or Eason. That's what's going to happen. You may not have him today, and that's a big question mark. So LSU I get it. LSU had to deal with some guys. Arkansas went on the road and beat them when they didn't have Pinson. That's a pretty big deal. I'm not saying Tony is as important as Pinson is, but maybe he is when you talk about what he can do defensively. Oh, and what he can do on the offensive boards. I mean, for a while, Tony was one of the, top 5 offensive rebounders in the SEC or top 6, somewhere in there for the first 10 or 12 games, if I remember right. I know he was the best offensive rebounder on your roster. That's what you're missing. And that is a big deal to me, especially LSU's talented. It's kind of hard to believe they beat LSU at LSU. But then again, when you talk about Pinson not being on the floor, you understand that. To beat them twice in a single year is pretty impressive. To beat them 3 times, going to be tough, especially if Tony is limited or doesn't play. LSU, who beat Missouri, it was a pretty big lead there in the first half. Mizzou kind of, fought back a little bit. Eason once again doing his usual thing off the bench, his high production antics off the bench. He was tied for the leading scorer of the game at 19. LSU ended up with 30 total points from their bench. Quite a bit of production there. LSU led the majority of this game. A little bit surprised. Thought Mizzou would probably fight a little bit more, but I figured – I picked LSU by 10. I think that was my score. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure I had them by 10 regardless. I want to say it was 78-68. Well, no, they ended up. I'm sorry, they won 76-68. I had them winning by 10 points. Obviously, they fell a little bit short of that. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is going to be a tough game. Arkansas's Tony is at the moment still a question mark for the Hawks, for the Razorbacks. Seen at times yesterday with his boot and at other times without it. Are those Jedi mind tricks by Eric Musselman? I think it's a strong possibility. Tony is a big deal for the Hogs, in my opinion. Someone who can guard 1 through 4 on the floor and do it really well. Great at altering shots from 14 feet and out. At times can defend the rim pretty well, although he isn't Justin. I thought I was going to be cute. He's no Justin Smith all around the rim defensively, but he is a legitimate, probably your second best defender. He's in your top 3, and those 3 guys at times they kind of rotate who they are, but it's typically I think it's JD Notae, Adis Toney, Devo. Devo defensively, when he's on it, he's probably your best defender on the floor. Here's how I sorted this out. With no Adis Toney, I'm going to take LSU by a little bit. Going to be probably another backyard brawl between these two teams. Limited Adis Toney, I'm going to take Arkansas by anything between 2 to 5 points. With Toney, I think Arkansas wins this thing by 6 or 10. I think that's where you're at. I'm not going to pick an official winner today because I'm going to have to fence sit, and I hate to do that, but I'm going to have to sit on the fence on this one because this is a really good LSU team that is definitely capable of winning this whole thing. I don't think they do, but if Arkansas gets by LSU, I don't know, man. LSU, and if they get by LSU without Adis Toney, holy crap, yeah. I do think Arkansas power polls, you guys know I had them at the top at the end of the season and also said, you know what, when you go into SEC tournament, it's a little bit different. You got guys that are a little bit more desperate. You got teams that are a little bit more desperate, trying to get better seeding. I don't know where you go if you lose this game. I don't know that you've locked in the four seed. If you lose it, you might drop back to a 5 maybe. Again, Lenardi still has Arkansas at a 4 seed. I don't even want to get into the whole Bama stuff. I don't have enough time, but it is amazing to me. I cannot figure out – I just can't figure out the Bama stuff. And you heard Coach Martin go off about that yesterday. If you guys haven't caught that, go Google it. What he's talking about, it's premium content. Premium content. And I think he's dead on right. That's why. So I had the – where's the hang on just a second. We're going to end it on this. Today, Arkansas, again – it says 2 p.m. Eastern, so, yeah, we're going to be a little bit behind on that. Auburn and A&M today on ESPN. So both Arkansas and Auburn today are on ESPN. Of course, you know Auburn and A&M is playing right now. Tennessee, Mississippi State at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Vanderbilt, Kentucky at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, yeah. I don't know what the score is of the Auburn game. I haven't watched a single second of it, but I mean, you guys will have to tell me what's going on there. I'm not going to give you an official pick on Arkansas and LSU because I don't know what's going on with Adis Toney. If I knew about Toney, I'd make a pick. Tennessee, Mississippi State, obviously I'm taking Tenor. Kentucky, Vanderbilt, of course I'm taking Kentucky. Vanderbilt could be a tough out, though. Vanderbilt looked pretty good. Did you guys catch Florida yesterday in that game? That was insane. Florida and A&M was insane. That was crazy. Florida got their first lead of the game in overtime, but they end up falling just short, 83-80 to the Aggies. LSU, again, they beat Missouri 76-68, beat them by 8 points. South Carolina gets just – and this was the biggest surprise to me. South Carolina got stomped against Mississippi State 73-51. Vanderbilt, of course, comes up short 82-76 to Alabama. All right. Great show. Smash the like. That's right. Stats show if one team beats another team 2 times in the regular season – and they meet in the postseason, the team that had 2 victories get a third victory 30 or 70% of the time. I like that, but again, I think that's – and I hear what you're saying, Mike, and I like that from you. I get it, but no Adis Toney, I mean, it shifts this game. Not that Arkansas doesn't have someone else who could maybe step into that role, but I don't know that you have someone who could step into that role who can guard 1 through 4 on the floor. You know, I don't know that you have that or not. You know, we'll see. it's going to force you. We already saw a different starting five, obviously, last week. You're not going to have the same starting five today. We know that much. So we'll see how Arkansas counters this. The good thing, Arkansas has the best coach in college basketball. There, I said it. You got the best guy in college basketball, at least in the SEC. I think the way he's coached, I don't think that's too crazy to say. Ty A&M is absolutely destroying Auburn. Are you serious? Right now, by the way, Joe Lunardi has Arkansas as a 4 seed taking on Vermont, who's an automatic qualifier, the 13 seed. Vermont, who I was looking at them earlier, they've only played one Power 5 basketball program. They played Maryland, and they lost 68-57. Of course, I'm already kind of trying to get a head start. That could be your matchup. We'll have to wait and see. But Vermont right now, 27-5 on the season. So, yes, he's serious, says Dragon Slayer. Thank you, Dragon Slayer, for clearing that up. I was just kind of trying to be a little sarcastic, Of course I believed him. That's a little wild. That's crazy. That's an ass whooping there, huh? Auburn's getting their ass whooped. 37-21.5 right now for Texas A&M and Auburn. Oh, my gosh. If I could just stay live all day, I would, but I can't. And try to illegally stream the Arkansas LSU game. No, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to lose my channel. But, yeah, wow, they are getting smoked. 21 points at half. Look at A&M. I told you guys, some of these teams that are fighting for seeding, Auburn, I mean, anything could happen. It's the SEC tournament, man. Absolutely anything can happen. That's insane. Saw one where we were a 4 seed playing New Mexico. Yeah, New Mexico State was the other, I think. Is I going to stream on Discord? Probably not. Are you talking about the game? I might. It's a possibility. Yeah, I think I might stream the game on Discord. So if you're in our Discord, I've been able to stream the games. I streamed like a whole bunch of games yesterday in our Discord. So if you want to hop in on that, join our Discord. Go be there. We didn't have a lot of people in there. I think at one point it was me and one other person, but I think through the game one, we had a few people in there. So maybe I will. Are we going to have a Discord session tonight? It's a possibility, Ramon. It's a possibility. We are definitely, of course, having our post-game show as well. So that's it. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to get caught up with the kiddos and then get ready for this Arkansas game that's going to happen here shortly. So, yeah, I'm not taking an official pick. I'm not, because I just don't know enough about Audice Tony. I mean, I told you where I stand with him, with a limited Tony and without Tony, where I stand. If he's there, if he's 100%, if all the boot stuff was nonsense and he's just playing mind games, yeah, I'm taking the Hogs. But, I mean, anything could happen. And it is so hard to beat a team of LSU's caliber. And I think that's something else you have to consider, Mike. Beating someone of LSU's caliber 3 times, wow. That's impressive. Doing that without your best defender, your on-the-ball defender, who can, again, guard 1 through 4 on the floor. Without him, that's even bigger. So, yeah, we'll do the post-game show here in a little bit, and then I'm going to try and stream that game on Discord. So, woo pig, I'll see you guys later today. Go Hogs. Why not? In case you missed it, why not? We're just going to do it. Why not? Let's show the video.
We would love to get him back, especially Arkansas. Not really in Florida, but Arkansas. We'd love to get him back. We see him on the side, and when they win, we win. That's one for sure. We would want to play. Right. We would just feel like we was disrespected. They feel like, they got to win. They feel like they're better than us right now. But, we play against them, the intensity is going to be high. We feel like we're going to beat the crap out of them when we see them again.
bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room, but they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through, metaphorically, I'm mad, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you.
All right, guys. Woo Pig. I'll see you later. Go Hogs. Don't forget, there's a link if you want to join Discord, if you want to join Patreon. There's also a PayPal link there. Yeah, Woo Pig. I'll see you guys later.